Boy, oh boy. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Donuts and Coffee Podcast. Guys, I'm thinking of changing the name of the channel or podcast. I'm not sure what I change it to. I don't even know why I want to change it, but if you guys have good names, suggestions, ideas, please punch them my way. I'd really appreciate that. If you guys hear birds in the background or dogs barking, please never mind that. And if you hear that water noise in the background, I swear to God I'm not peeing. That's just a swimming pool or slash fountain. Oh boy. It's actually not a bad day weather-wise here in Texas today, considering it's usually hell hot. We're talking about 105 degrees. Usually it's very humid. I know where I come from. Bahrain, whoever's familiar with that tiny little island. It gets way hotter than it is here. It's way more humid than it is here. However, we're spoiled brats over there. Each room in the house has its own AC unit. And we barely do anything outside when it's hot or when the sun is up. But over here, I got to do a lot of things outdoors. So I get to pay the price. It's been a really, really horribly hot summer. And it's weird because it's August. And last week, okay, not August, last week, basically end of July, there's been a lot of floods in different parts of the U.S. I know in St. Louis, Missouri, there was a flood. I believe it was last weekend, and unfortunately, one person died. And there was another flood in Kentucky, and last I heard, 17 people died. There was also another semi-flood in Las Vegas, which is crazy. I don't know, the weather has been pretty crazy. Luckily, we haven't had any floods here in Texas, but yeah, it's things have been crazy. I got to tell you, a lot of things are crazy in this country. A lot of things are crazy in a good way, and a lot of things are crazy in a pretty bad way. I mean, no matter how many times you come to this place, how long you visited this place for, there's always something that, catches you off guard. I went for a doctor's visit last week, or a couple weeks ago, and the nurse was just doing my blood pressure and just asking me general questions, like, you ever had any surgeries, any allergies to medication, blah, 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 blah. And then the nurse asked me if I'm on my period. I'm like, what the hell? Dude, I'm not supposed, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to laugh or find that funny or what exactly. The only answer I could come up with was, not today, ma'am. And it was pretty messed up because she laughed and she said, sorry, I just have to ask. It's a part of my job. And, oh well, it's a crazy world. Let's not get into that yet. I need to build my following or my followers first before I can get into more controversial stuff so I can afford losing a few followers. But as of now, I got, I don't know, 135 followers. I can't afford to lose you guys yet. But yeah, a lot of things are weird here. And but there's one thing I love about San Antonio. It's the fact that despite the fact that I'm in Texas, and you'd think Texas is all, yeehaw, or, just your average Trump-loving, gun-loving, Bible-loving, people, which, again, I have no problem with. I mean, you can do whatever you want, believe in whatever you want, or vote for whoever you want. I don't give a fudge. But no, San Antonio is not like that. Because I personally hate both sides. of the aisle. Like genuinely, if you tell me you vote, I'm like, really, dude? Okay, you have the freedom to vote, but you're wasting your time if you believe in this stuff. Okay, I mean, finding an honest politician is like finding a virgin prostitute. It just can never happen. But San Antonio, I gotta admit that it's one of those places in the U.S. where you don't hear a lot of people talking about politics. It's amazing. People get along. Nice people for the most part. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm living in a kind of bougie, fancy neighborhood, so people don't care about politics. But yeah, what else is weird here? Let's see, where do we start? Yeah, I have made some good friends, real good friends, awesome friends who come to work with their guns. Again, very Texas. Uh, nice people, awesome people. I've really met some genuinely amazing people here. I had a couple good friends at work, like my two favorite people at work. Uh, they're both crazy, and honestly, the days those two guys are not at work, work is just horrible. I mean, work is horrible to begin with, but the days those guys are not there, my partners in crime, oh my God, it's 100 times worse. One of those two crazy guys, he came up to me the other day. He was like, "Hey, I was thirsty, or I was hungry, and I was craving cereal. I wanted to have cereal. I opened the fridge, and I didn't have milk." I'm like, "All right, what'd you do?" He's like, "I had cereal with beer." I'm like, "Damn." I mean, okay, but I guess my friends are equally messed up and weird, just like me. Again, no judgment. If you enjoy your cereal with beer, by all means, go for it. I love you, buddy. And yeah, here's another funny thing. Me and those two Mexican guys, actually both are Mexican, or let's say Hispanic. They're not Mexican. They're American. But yeah, both those Hispanic dudes and me, a Middle Eastern brownie, we got in trouble at work for being racist and making insensitive racial jokes. You know what's messed up? Is when you can't even make fun of yourself without getting in trouble. That's one messed up thing about here. People are so sensitive. People are so politically correct that they end up being offended for you on the behalf of you, even though you made the joke yourself. So yeah, me and those two guys basically got in trouble at work for, I don't know, making some remarks probably about the Middle East, Mexico, Latinos, whatever, equally taking jabs at everyone. But no, God forbid, one of those sensitive idiots, hear you laughing or cracking a joke, and Jesus Christ, the amount of Karens that you have to avoid or maneuver in this country, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's weird. I get people who laugh at me because technically I left the Middle East and then I moved to the U.S. and I always used to make this joke that, hey, now I can talk a little more freely about more stuff. And let's be serious. A lot of countries in the Middle East, you don't get to open your mouth a lot without getting in trouble. And so those people get to laugh at me, and I totally see their point. They get to laugh at me and say, "Hey, how do you like your freedom of speech there now? Because you can't seem to open your mouth without having someone offended." And they're absolutely right. However, the difference is you still get to do it here, even though everyone gets offended, but you get to do it. I guess, whatever, I'll take that for now. But do I miss home? That's a difficult one. I miss my mom and dad. I truly miss my mom and dad. So I don't think I'm really missing home. I genuinely, truly miss my mom and dad. Uh, I cannot wait to see them again. I really hope I see them as soon as possible. I never missed them this much before, but probably that was due to the fact that I always traveled for vacation, even though I would take long trips. But the fact that I was mentally, or the fact that I knew in my head that I can fly back anytime I want to see them, that would always put me at ease. But the fact that I work right now and I'm kind of chained and stranded and trapped, because I have a job, I have a commitment basically, which is something I can't stand in life. It drives me crazy not knowing when I'm going to be able to see my parents again. Yeah, I'm a 34-year-old mama's boy, daddy's kid. It is what it is. I love them so much. I wouldn't be who I am without them. I wouldn't be here without them. And maybe for the longest part of my life, they never wanted me to be away from them. But I guess it got to a point they were like, you know what? Get out of this country. Just go do something, please, for God's sake. I guess they were tired of me being a loser. But Mom, Dad, I love you. I appreciate the push. You guys are amazing, and I can't wait to see you again. If I had to quit my job just to come see you, I'd do that. Oh boy. I actually tried to get my parents to fly out here, but my mom is scared of long flights. Maybe she's not scared. You know what? I genuinely think a part of her is just making excuses. Because she does get on flights whenever she wants to go somewhere she likes. Then my dad, I think, would come here, but I would love for them both to come here just to kind of rub it in their face and say, hey, see, I started from scratch. I got a good life going on, Mom, Dad. There you go. Are you semi-proud of me yet? I can never, catch up with my brothers. I mean, one's a physician and one's a pretty smart auditor, accountant. Both smart brothers. Both real smart, real successful. But the funny thing is that they're my younger brothers, and I was supposed to be the role model. Nope, not me. I was a black sheep, always a black sheep. And but it is what it is. Guys, I don't think I really have anything to talk about now. But life is good. God is good. Life is great. I'm pretty happy. Again, I'd like to give a shout out to Safe, my friend whom started this podcast with me last year. I'd like to give a shout out to my friend. I'm not going to mention his name, but he was always behind the scene working on giving me ideas or suggestions or telling me what can be done better. Who else? My uncle. He's been a very, very big supporter of mine. Always telling me what I can do better, giving me ideas, suggestions. I miss that guy. I really miss that guy. A lot of what I am, a lot of who I am today is because of that guy, my uncle. And yeah, another guy I miss, actually. Yeah, I miss that dude. He gave me my first guitar. He taught me how to sing. He's the reason I joined the band that I joined back in 2009. So I owe that guy a lot, and I think I never got to really tell him how big of an impact he has or had on my life. But I also got my motorbike because I wanted to be like him. But I stopped riding motorbikes. I got my motorbike, when was that? Jesus Christ. 13 years ago, I guess, in October, September, something like that, 2009. Good days. I'd go out with him, ride our bikes on the weekends, super early in the morning, 3 or 4 in the morning, and then, oh my God, just good days. I I don't want to be a sissy and cry on the podcast because I think I miss more people than I thought I do. Um, oh boy. What else? What else do I want to rant and complain about? Soon I'm going to be actually doing podcasts with a couple of friends. I'm not sure if I'm going to be doing that online or how, but it's always more fun when you have someone to banter with and, rant with back and forth, bump heads. Definitely got some good topics I'd like to talk about, but it's always more fun to talk with someone that disagrees with you, because I'm a firm believer in order for you to evolve the way you think, you need to surround yourself with people who don't think the way you do. The people who think the way you do, they're great company to have. But in order to evolve and learn more and expand your thought process or your critical thinking abilities, you really need to talk and hang out with people who do not think the way you do. Because you need to build bridges. You need to understand people. And if you don't talk to people who disagree with you, if you don't talk to people who are different than you, you're never going to understand them. And understanding doesn't mean agreeing, but just understand where people are coming from, or why people think the way they do. Definitely have a lot of topics in mind. I'd love to talk about or discuss with other friends or people who'd like to join. Anyone's more than welcome to join. I don't care what you are. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you believe in. You could believe in whatever you want. Heck, you could be a KKK lover or a grand wizard, whatever. I don't care. If you're up for having a peaceful conversation, even if we disagree, I'm all for it. Topics I'm actually thinking of discussing would definitely be stuff like, I don't know, climate change, gun control, school shooting, the crap that people put on in our food and water, all these basically big corporations and companies, the crap they put in our food, pharmaceuticals, pharmaceutical industry, and just taxes, everything. I absolutely love discussing controversial stuff and hearing both sides of the argument. Not necessarily to prove who's right and wrong, but basically to understand why people think or believe what they do. Unfortunately, we're living in such a sensitive society that if you don't believe in my God, you don't believe in my book, you don't believe in my faith, you don't believe in my kind of sexuality, you don't believe in my kind of ethics, my code of morality, or my moral compass, or whatever, then you're my enemy. I want nothing to do with you. No, by all means. I don't care. Even if I hate you, I still want to talk to you, because hating you shouldn't stop me from treating you right. You know what? Hating someone is a feeling, but treating someone right or wrong is an action. You don't really always control your feelings, but you can always pretty much control your actions. So, guys, just try to be half decent. Seriously. Anyway, if you made it this far, I'm sorry you had to waste your time listening to something absolutely useless and meaningless. You clearly were super bored, and you need to have a life and find a life. And, dude, you need to get a hobby or find a hobby or do something fun with your life. But anyway, that's it for now. Peace, adios, take it easy, and Hakuna Matata, guys. I'll be catching you again soon.